Hello Dennis, got your 220S brake booster finished. Let me go over a few things with you. All the plating is the original cadmium plating. Got a new vacuum diaphragm in here. Got the rebuilt air filter poppet assembly. All the new rubbers internally. This is a vacuum port for testing purposes, and this is something that you guys can use as well when the booster's in the car. And this vacuum port here is tied into this gauge up here. I was just testing, and you can see we still have vacuum. Anyway, this gauge, these two vacuum gauges are tied together, and so when my vacuum pump is on, both gauges are going to go up and read vacuum is produced by my unit, my test unit here. Of course, obviously, it's going to be vacuum as supplied by your car when the booster's in the vehicle. And when the booster is activated, this gauge starts to go to zero, and the more as soon as it hits zero, the booster is fully activated. So the more you press the brakes, the closer this gets to zero. Once it hits zero, the brakes are fully activated, and you can use that vacuum gauge on this port when the booster is in the car. Over here, we've got the hydraulic, got input. Both gauges are tied together, and this gauge can go up, maxes out, and this gauge reads final input pressure. And then output pressure, both gauges go up, and this reads final. This maxes out, and this reads final output pressure. And this, when vacuum is active to the booster, and the booster's acting 100%, this booster's a beast. It's got like a 3.5, maybe 4-to-1 boost ratio. So whatever we got here, we're going to get at least 3 times over on this side of the gauge, on the output side. But before we do that, I'm going to demonstrate that without vacuum, the booster is inert. Whatever goes in the booster comes out the booster. It's inert, and so you will see that with this pressure, this reading, and this reading will all be the same. And at the same time, I'm going to test your brake light switch to see if how it works. And the reason the machine is off is so we can hear the continuity on the brake light switch. So the switch activated, just now activated. And now we're going to go pump the booster the rest of the way. So we've got full input pressure 350, output 350, output 350. So as I say, the booster is inert when there's no vacuum going to it. All right. Now we know the, double check the brake light switch. This one's probably getting a little tired. It comes on at about 200 psi. Most of them come on around 50 psi, but this one's working. And as you probably know, there's just standard switch, 10x1 pitch, and you can get those at Summit or AutoZone if you need another one. Now then, we're gonna run the booster. All right, while we're under pressure, we check to make sure our bleed screws are holding, and we check this seal right here, this gap right here for leaks. And then we also have the, on the other side, we've got the bleed hole, your first line of defense if there's an issue. And everything looks okay. Looks like I got you a good booster. Thank you for sending it to me.